This week we'll be putting Buzzfeed through the ringer, so let's load up Buzzfeed's channel and see what insights we can squeeze out, starting with content. Buzzfeed, or as I like to call it, Don't You Have Work to Do?, is a collection of pop culture news and nostalgia nestled in a pile of sweaty listicles. Buzzfeed was created by Jonah Peretti, who happens to be the older brother of comedian Chelsea Peretti, whose character on Brooklyn Nine-Nine reminds me of someone who gets all their news from Buzzfeed. While easy to make fun of, BuzzFeed's success is undeniable. They have the 40th most popular website in the US, and they've carried that same winning strategy to YouTube. BuzzFeed Video is the 23rd most viewed channel on YouTube with 8 million subscribers and 5 billion total views. I believe BuzzFeed owes their YouTube content strategy success to two things: big leadership and big data. Right at the start, BuzzFeed appointed Zay Frank as their EVP of video. If you've never heard of Zay Frank before, you're welcome. He's the godfather of vlogging and absolutely brilliant at creating content that people share. I put some links for you to explore later in the description of this video. A personal favorite is Zay Frank and the Poetics of Web Video by Michael Z. Newman. Some of BuzzFeed's earliest and most popular videos were created by Zay Frank. You've probably seen at least one of these videos shared by your aunt. I had the opportunity to hear Zay Frank speak at VidCon back in 2013, and he talked about how he cut a lot of the bureaucracy out of the traditional production company. There's no division of labor at BuzzFeed, where you would normally have a director, writer, editor, director of photography. Nope, Zay hires people who are good from top to bottom and can take a concept all the way through execution. That way they can come together in small groups to make interesting things. You'll notice that many BuzzFeed videos are shot in and around BuzzFeed's office, and BuzzFeed employees star in and create content on top of whatever it is that BuzzFeed employees normally do. So combine a strong leader that understands the space with a number of nimble production teams, then arm them with all the social sharing data you can handle. BuzzFeed knows what topics are trending. It's almost like they have a feed of buzzworthy things. So when you notice people sharing Disney princess content like gangbusters, you make videos related to Disney princesses. By the way, here's BuzzFeed's most viewed video of all time. Your brand or business may not have access to BuzzFeed level data, but it's still a good lesson to look at what's working on your website when looking for new video ideas. On the optimization side, BuzzFeed knows what it's doing. On BuzzFeed.com, editors can input a number of title variations and randomly serve different variations to see which title attracts the most shares and views. I can only imagine that these learnings are taken into account when writing titles on YouTube. Speaking of, Real SEO did a deep dive look at BuzzFeed's video titles. That's worth a read. My biggest takeaway was that the shorter titles under 70 characters performed best. I put a link to the full article in the description of this video. On the tag side, it appears that BuzzFeed adds them algorithmically. Here are the tags for their video on weird sex facts. It reads like an email that would go directly into your spam folder. As you can see, they rank number 2 when searching for weird sex facts or sex facts. However, looking at the tags from the top ranked video, you can see they're using a more targeted keyword strategy. On the promotion side, BuzzFeed doesn't need to use anything other than social media to get seen thanks to their content strategy. Back to this speech from Zay Frank, he talks about how BuzzFeed doesn't see social as something you bolt on after the fact, or some kind of trick you pull to lower your ad spend. Social sharing is baked into the content itself. For even more insight into this strategy, be sure to check out BuzzFeed's GM of video, Jonathan Perlman's talk from Real Summit 2014, where he talks about the reasons that people share. BuzzFeed also breaks shareable content down into 3 categories. The emotional gift, meaning if you make someone feel something, they'll share something. Information, because people like to share things that are helpful and add value. And identity. People share things to show that they belong to a group, and that group can be related to their job, gender, location, sexuality, hobbies, you name it. A great example of this is their video, How to Piss Off Every New Yorker in 36 Seconds. Take a wild guess where this video is shared from the most. On the community side, BuzzFeed clearly knows how to tap into existing communities on YouTube, but they don't necessarily interact with viewers on YouTube. They have a 2.2% engagement rate, which is better than most brands, but lower than PewDiePie's 5.2%. This is probably because they get most of their views off of YouTube, where it's not as easy to leave a comment. On the community participation side, it doesn't make much sense to respond to comments on their most popular videos, since it would be impossible to keep up. But they do have some series where more comment involvement would make sense. The series that comes to mind is Whine About It with Matt Bellassai. People love the series because they love Matt, and a couple of appearances from Matt in the comment section would blow up an already engaged audience. With strong leadership and big data, BuzzFeed has virtually cracked the shareable content code. Thanks for watching, commenting, and supporting the show. You can explore a slew of links I mentioned in this review by checking out the description below. Otherwise, be sure to check out some of my other channel reviews and subscribe.